President Uhuru Kenyatta has kick-started the preparation for general elections by appointing the 4 new IEBC commissioners who will fill the existing gap and attain quorum that was hindering the commission's major decisions. The new 4 IEBC commissioners have today been sworn in by the Chief Justice Martha Koome. The new IEBC commissioner are Justice Nyang'aya Cherop Masit, Juliana Chirera and Francis Wanderi. One of the commission's priorities will be to update the voters register, revising polling stations as the population has changed after census was conducted. According to IEBC Act, only 700 people will be served per polling station. That saw 154 polling stations in just concluded Kiambaa by-elections. Well, and now in studio I'm joined by Nudin Kagai, who is a lawyer, just to discuss on this particular issue. Now, Nudin, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let's begin with this. We have the 4 new commissioners who will now be joining IEBC. What will be the relationship, between the 3 commissioners who are existing and the 4 new commissioners?
First and foremost, they don't have to be bosom buddies or have dinner so they can be close. What we need from them is the observance of Chapter 6, that is leadership and integrity. Because you see, IEBC is marred by issues of integrity, and also coming from the 2017 election, the voter needs to gain confidence. And so how they relate, you see, now we have a quorum. After a very long time, we have a quorum, and it's up to them, for them to rise to the occasion. We see, we have seen different statements from the IEBC. There's a time they say they're not prepared, they need money. There's a time then they came back and reverted and say, oh, we're ready, subject to funds. So at the end of the day, what we need is that they need to work together, whether they like it or not. Because at the end of the day, that is their duty. And they need to help the Kenyan voter gain confidence so that they know when I wake up in the morning, the chilly morning, or either it's raining or not, and go and exercise my democratic right, my vote counts for something. Yes.
And on this matter, on the timelines, of course, they're coming into office just around 10 months to the general elections. Is that enough for them to prepare for to hold credible, free and fair elections?
I believe those who have been there had plans. So now that they have enough manpower, if the plans were in good order, everything will move. But the challenge they face is the funds. From where I sit, I believe the judiciary, judiciary, as per the Constitution, the judiciary needs, it has a judiciary fund that is yet to be activated. The IEBC needs such a fund for it to be independent. Because now, there are some quite murmurs somewhere. People are saying that these 4 commissioners might be sent there courtesy of certain influential figures who have a stake in the elections to come. So we don't need such scenarios. What we need is the independence of the IEBC, and for that to happen, where you don't control the money, you cannot be independent. Yes. And
what do you think should be their priorities right now?
The most important thing is actually voter registration, because we have those people who are not eligible to vote in 2017 are now 18 years of age. They need to vote. We have those who would want to change their polling station, or maybe would want to change the constituency they are voting in, or county. So the most important thing right now is the to update the voter registration, so people can be ready to vote. Because every single election, general election, we have issues where people say, I go to the polling station, my name is missing. So something like that should never happen again. So they have a very small time. The window is very small. 10 months is a very small time. So what they need to do is they need to work like from tonight. They should be working, or actually strategizing on how to move from there. Their swearing in was kind of dull and low-key, but at the end of the day, so long as they work, that's what the Kenyans need.
And of course, there have been calls earlier on by especially ODM leaders, wanting IEBC chair Wafula Chebukati to be ousted. Are we, expecting that maybe now that they can easily replace them?
Now, if they do that, now that now takes us back. Because now we have a quorum. Now that means you have to fill the position again. Because that means the 3 who are there, they have a problem with them. So we fill 3 new people. So they come up with new ideas, new strategies, 10 months to an election. That means our elections will be chaotic. Because you see, as Maraga nullified the election in 2017, he said the election is not an event, it's a process. What is a process? A process is for us to have a general election. What have you been doing for the past 5 years? You realize that is the process. To the day we have the election, what measures did you put to curb election fraud, to make sure that the vote actually counts? That process is tedious, is very long, it needs a lot of time and planning. So I don't see the essence. It might be political, you know, in politics, people feel comfortable when they want their people somewhere. But at the end of the day, we need to look at this thing from a holistic view, where you think about the Kenyan first. So when now the quorum is full, and then you decide to send the 3 home, so we go back to the same process we've seen again. It doesn't make sense. I believe what we need for IEBC to gain confidence of the Kenyans, the IEBC needs to uphold integrity. All the commissioners. And the other thing, this fear aspect, that the others, there are some who we know who ran away when it got too hot. You know? Anyone who has become a commissioner, you realize that the work you're about to commence is not going to be easy. Threats and intimidations will be there. I'm sure even from today, they'll be getting calls. So you need to have you need to be strong at the end of the day and put Kenyans before anything else, so we can be able to move forward. And because at the end of the day, politicians have to realize that there is life post-2022 August. So the IEBC should make sure that we have a better life post-2022.
And just, of course, for the benefit of Kenyans, how long should an IEBC commissioner serve?
You know, it depends at the end of the day. Because you see, they're different. There's a CEO, there's the chairman, and these are the commissioners. So at the end of the day, one, your age also really matters, because you know when it's time for you to go home, you have to go home. So, but in Kenya, we rarely look at the tenure, because if you look at every single IEBC commission that we've had, before we had Kivitu, you know how he was removed. You look at Isaac Hassan, you see how he was removed. Actually, Chebukati is the longest serving, and so at the end of the day, the politics interferes, and so we hope this time it doesn't interfere, because people should be able to work independently so that they can be able to serve Kenyans. Yeah.
And maybe just your final thoughts on the whole issue of IEBC now that, of course, we are approaching the general elections. Of course, we're expecting a lot to be happening during this period.
Yeah.
Do you think they're strong enough to handle all that?
We are waiting to see, because the 4 commissioners, I don't know them personally. And I believe as of yesterday, the members of parliament were saying that they should be strong enough to persevere the insults, the threats that will come their way. So if you're not strong-willed, at the end of the day, you will crumble and you will cause chaos. So they need to be strong-willed, and they need to know that, you know, there was a joke I was making with a friend of mine when we had these vacancies, people were applying. I told them 1,000 ways to die, apply for an IEBC post. So at the end of the day, they need to realize that they have to be strong-willed, and they have to be patriotic. You know, patriotism comes hand in hand with their job, because you respect what the voter says. And in politics, they say, let the people decide. So what the people decide should actually matter.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you so much, Nudin, for your time.